We've been walking for over a month and a half. We've traveled through more than 8 countries to get here, but the buses were only traveling to D.C., and we were told that there was somebody here to help us out, but we didn't see anybody.
Coming up on DC News Now at 5, raising the stakes. 2 bus loads of migrants dropped off in D.C., causing a major reaction for many reasons. We'll have a live report. And a deal reached, how train officials and workers reached an agreement, and what that could mean for your morning commute. And later, stretch your dollar, what you need to know if you've been thinking if it's time to refinance your mortgage.
And we're live here in your local Ford Weather Center. It's been another comfortable day, but temperatures are set to go up over the weekend. Just how high will they be getting? We'll let you know in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Damon, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall. New tonight, civil rights leaders and local leaders reacting to migrants' bus to the vice president's steps this morning. DC News Now's Katie Rhee is live with us outside the Naval Observatory. Katie, what's the latest?
Good evening, Mark. So what happened here early this morning was actually part of Governor Greg Abbott's Operation Star, which buses migrants out of Texas and into sanctuary cities and states. Now, while Vice President Kamala Harris has not responded to what happened here this morning, local advocates are condemning what Governor Greg Abbott did. Texas Governor Greg Abbott sending a political message straight to the doorsteps of the vice president. This all just days after her trip to Houston and this pronouncement.
The border is secure, but we also have a broken immigration system, in particular over the last 4 years before we came in, and it needs to be fixed.
It is un-Texan, un-American, and un-Christian to treat children and families as human cargo for political stunts.
Governor Abbott directed 2 buses carrying over 100 migrants directly to the gates of the Naval Observatory where Vice President Harris lives, taking to Twitter saying, "We will continue sending migrants to sanctuary cities like D.C. until President Biden and Border Czar Harris step up and do their jobs to secure the border." D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser was caught off guard and refused to comment on Abbott's latest migrant maneuver.
Were you surprised that they were dropped off at the vice president's residence? Okay, but I'm going to keep trying to ask them. Do you agree that the border is secure, according to Vice President Harris? Thank you.
But civil rights advocates are frustrated, saying these migrants are caught in the middle of a political slugfest.
Many of these, what I understand today, are from fleeing repression in Venezuela or Cuba or Nicaragua, and they're coming over here as refugees. These are human beings, and they're being treated like human cargo by the politicians, the governor of Texas and the governor of Florida. Again, it's an inhumane way to treat human beings who are just asking for a chance at the American dream, and they're being used as political pawns.
Now, the organization you just heard from, that's the League of Unified Latin American Citizens, they're actually planning a new campaign. It's literally called Bust the Buses. It will place people in front of those buses, taking people out of Texas, bringing them to different sanctuary cities, and it will try and protect them from being shipped out to places across the country. For now, reporting live in front of the Naval Observatory in Washington, Katie Rhee, DC News Now.
All right, Katie, thank you. Again, 2 buses of migrants arrived in the nation's capital, but it wasn't at a usual drop-off spot. DC News Now's Lex Juarez was there when the migrants arrived, and she has that part of the story.
2 buses of migrants filled the yard next to the Naval Observatory entrance Thursday morning, carrying nothing more than what fits in one bag, holding each other as they waited for help.
We've been walking for over a month and a half. We've traveled through more than 8 countries to get here, but the buses were only traveling to D.C., and we were told that there was somebody here to help us out, but we didn't see anybody.
Pinto Sosa tells me he's the first in his family to make it to the United States. He brought his 1-year-old son so they could have a better life.
Perfect. How do I explain it? It's help that is totally different than what we received in all of the other countries. It's been challenging since we left Venezuela. It's here where we have felt all of the respect.
Almost to the final destination of New York, everyone patiently waited until some help arrived. It wasn't the warm welcome we've been seeing for migrants at Union Station, and that's because a lack of communication about where they were being dropped off caused confusion for everyone.
We've been at Union Station since 6 in the morning waiting. Most of the 8 network was already around Union Station because that has been the drop-off location for months.
Because nobody knew the migrants would be left at the Naval Observatory, volunteers had to scramble to get them warm clothes and a ride to a safe location with food.
So not only a language barrier, I want everyone to understand the mental and physical fatigue of the journey that we need to attend as well as greeters and as humanitarian organizations.
Volunteers say they're frustrated that it's become political rather than focusing on helping people, but they say they'll continue to overcome any hurdles that come their way. Reporting for DC News Now, I'm Lex Juarez.
Our thanks to Lex. In other news, it was an 11th-hour decision that'll keep trains on the tracks. The rail strike that was set to begin at midnight is no more. Good news for commuters, good news for the economy. DC News Now's transportation reporter Joseph Olmo has the details.
You know, thousands of passengers came to train stations across the DMV today, not knowing if they'd be able to do the exact same thing tomorrow. But hey, as of right now, a sigh of relief. There isn't going to be a rail strike, at least for right now, which means that commuter trains like the VRE here in Virginia, they're going to be staying all aboard tomorrow.
It was the early morning platform problem.
First reaction when you guys heard the news this morning as you were coming to the train station. Did you come to the train station this morning afraid that there wouldn't be a train to board?
I was a little nervous. Yeah, I'm still cautiously optimistic that my train coming back tonight will be running.
And it should be. According to Amtrak, the rail carrier working quickly today to restore all canceled trains. It comes as the White House announced a tentative deal was made overnight to avoid a crippling blow to commuters and the economy. Remember, this was a dispute between freight rail worker unions and the freight companies themselves. It would have affected commuter rail, though, too, because MARC trains, VRE trains, and most Amtrak trains run on tracks that are owned by the freight companies. Things aren't completely set in stone yet, though. Notice, the White House said a tentative deal was reached. The unions, they still have to vote on it. But in the meantime, there won't be a strike, which means your morning commute, for now, is protected.
I'm definitely glad the strike has been called off and we have trains running.
So, yeah. First reaction, learning just moments ago that it's been averted.
Right, happiness, pure joy.
Happiness and pure joy. All right,
yes.
Thanks so much. Have a good commute.
Thank you.
Reporting at the Alexandria Amtrak station, I'm Joseph Olmo, DC News Now.
Well, meteorologist Damon Matson joins us with a check on the forecast. Hey, Damon, I have to tell you, it was beautiful out. I spent a little time outdoors during my lunch hour. How long will this continue?
Yeah, it was fantastic out there, Mark. I got to enjoy that same exact bit of time outdoors. Hopefully, all of you did as well. This stretch of dry weather is going to keep on continuing. We had a little bit of a backdoor cold front drop through earlier on. That is what has kept temperatures mostly in the 70s all day, but that high pressure and sunshine is continuing to stick in place. So we're going to stay very clear as we move forward here through the rest of our evening. Check it out here. We're going to have those temperatures falling pretty quickly, though, through the 70s, back into the 60s as it will cool down, be a bit of a crisp night, probably the coolest night we've had all week long. So you can grab those lighter jackets for tomorrow morning. Now, speaking of the drier weather, well, we are on quite a stretch here. It looks like there's not going to be rain in the forecast, even all the way into the middle of next week. And yes, we had 7 days of dry weather at the end of August of this year, but you have to go all the way back to November, March of last year when we saw a stretch of longer than a week of dry time. That was 10 and 9 days respectively. And we're actually already starting to look at 8 to 9 days of dry weather straight on through next week, but we could actually use it. We've had a lot of rainfall these last several weeks, and the newest drought monitor here coming out, well, nothing showing up because we've had way too much rain in most locations, so this will give us a chance to dry out here as we move ahead through the rest of this week and off into next week, and we'll be able to handle all of that drier weather as it continues to stick with us. So again, a lot of good news in the forecast. If you have any plans rolling into this weekend, sunny skies, pretty comfortable temperatures are in play. But what are we going to keep an eye on as we roll into early next week? Could we be talking about 90-degree temperatures back in play as fall begins? We'll have a look in your full forecast here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Well, a man who stabbed a stranger more than 50 times in Old Town Alexandria back in 2018, thinking he was fighting a werewolf, was in court today. A judge ruling he can't have access to social media after prosecutors say that he was being deceptive. Daniel Hamburger has been at the courthouse all day in Alexandria. And Daniel, you've actually had an opportunity to talk with some of the victims' friends. What's that about?
Well, Mark, the victim's friends say that they're happy that something was done today to get him off of social media, but they're worried that he can just continue doing this under different names.
This is Pankaj Basin, the so-called werewolf killer, walking out of the Alexandria courthouse Thursday morning. Neither he nor his lawyer answering questions.
The judge said that while she won't be saying that software is necessary to monitor him, she is going to ban him from having social media profiles and using dating apps.
It comes after Sarah Bryan, a friend of Basin's victim, Brad Jackson, shared a post from Facebook that went viral, showing a dating profile for Pankaj 38 with his bio saying, quote, "I'm an easygoing adventurer who believes in a universal connection," going on to say also recently getting back from 2 years of travel. Prosecutors say he created artificial check-ins overseas. Basin was committed to a mental health facility since 2019 after being found not guilty of first-degree murder by reason of insanity. He was granted conditional release on May 27th of this year.
His lawyer's statement earlier this week claimed that he's been very remorseful throughout this whole thing. And I don't understand how, if you are so remorseful, this is what you go and do. That you go on and you lie to people.
Bryan says in court, Basin's attorney argued he cut and pasted an earlier profile.
It is misleading. He was not on 2 years of travel at the time, and I'm sure you can probably at least check your profile after this long. I don't even remember how long Facebook dating has been a thing.
Facebook dating has only been around since September 2019. Judge Lisa Kemmler ruled the only social network Basin can stay on is LinkedIn.
I still worry for basically everyone's safety, but I appreciate that somebody noticed.
Now, Basin is still required to wear a GPS monitoring anklet and have home visits from mental health providers as well as take medication. His lawyer tells me tonight that he is following every requirement from the circuit court, and he will continue to follow those requirements. We're live in Alexandria. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thank you. A 16-year-old Hagerstown teen is being charged as an adult tonight after he shot a man after an argument. Police spotted Jordan Hamilton fleeing the scene after being confronted by the victim, 32-year-old Anderson Sannon. The picture of the teenager has not been released, and police say that Sannon confronted Hamilton after there had been a disturbance involving other teens in the neighborhood. Sannon is recovering from his injuries. Hamilton faces several charges, including first and second degree attempted murder and assault charges. Well, video surveillance of a suspect involved in an armed robbery at a Foot Locker in Montgomery County was released today. The suspect can be seen on your screen, and he is described as a black male, 25 to 30 years old, about 6 feet tall. He's accused of stealing a pair of sneakers while threatening a Foot Locker employee and store manager with scissors. Montgomery County Police urges you to contact them if you know anything about this case. Well, the family members of WNBA star Brittany Griner and Michigan corporate security executive Paul Whelan will meet with President Joe Biden on Friday, and tomorrow's meetings are intended to emphasize the Biden administration's efforts to bring home not only Griner and Whelan, but also other Americans who are jailed overseas. Now, it will be the first time the president and the families meet. Griner and Whelan have been imprisoned in Russia for 2 different crimes. Griner was sentenced last month to a 9-year sentence after pleading guilty for marijuana-related charges. Whelan is serving a 16-year sentence on espionage-related charges of which he and his family claim are false. The U.S. government believes that both prisoners are being wrongfully detained.